early 1900s, the US was the only developed country that did not have national health care. The only kind of programs that the US did have were voluntary and or private programs. However, these were ununified and rather unreliant. The first president to actually advocate for healthcare was Teddy Roosevelt. However, none of the reforms were done under government influence. In fact, most of the reforms were done by the common people. Ideas for reform were actually shot down because of the conservative president in power at the time. Not only that, but the people of the U.S. actually did not want national health care because they believed it was too close to what Germans had. And after World War One, Germans were seen as the sort of enemy or socialist group that should not be affiliated with at all. All sort of progress was delayed until after World War II, when companies started to give health insurance as an added luxury to their employees.
Come on, then! The doctor will see you now!
There are many problems with Obamacare and its move to make medicine more socialized in the US. These problems range from rising healthcare prices to an abuse of some of our most constitutional rights. There is some truth that healthcare will empower most Americans with the opportunity to purchase more affordable healthcare, but there is a cost. One side effect, as healthheritage.org claims, is that for those already insured, millions of Americans must now pay higher insurance premium costs and deductibles and deal with cancellation or disruption of their existing coverage, meaning millions of Americans will get less coverage and have to pay more for their healthcare in order to cover all the new applicants of healthcare. It will also be tougher to keep your current doctor unless you pay more. The predictions of how much it would cost is likely to exceed projections, meaning the taxpayers may have to pay more taxes to cover this. There will still be millions of Americans uninsured and not everyone applies. Presently, there also seems to be less people who apply to Obamacare than projected. By not having everyone insured, this defeats the purpose of Obamacare, wasting taxpayer money and making rates go unnecessarily higher. The main problem with healthcare, however, is its interference with the economy and our rights. The government is unnecessarily interfering with the economy, and in a result, it hurts the free market and our choices. Instead of mandatory healthcare, the government should let the free market handle healthcare, which it has been doing through companies insuring their employees, or even by giving tax breaks as a sentence for companies or individuals to insure themselves. Forcing healthcare disrupts my rights as an American citizen, as the government is making me spend my money to do something I might not want to do. This is the reason the US has not turned to socialized medicine sooner. That is why healthcare should not be mandatory in the US.
Although America has always sustained a socialized system of healthcare, Obamacare will allow millions of Americans who are normally at an economic disadvantage to get access to higher quality health insurance and ultimately reduce healthcare costs. Obamacare will extend coverage to Americans who lack insurance and protect consumers from discriminatory and unfair practices established by insurance companies. The main advantage of the Affordable Care Act is that it lowers healthcare costs overall by making insurance affordable for more people. First, it will include many more younger people who are healthier. This lowers costs overall because they'll pay premiums but won't use as many services. Some of the concerns over rising premiums stemmed from the assumption that there won't be enough young and healthy people in the exchanges to balance out the older and sicker. However, the percentages have shown that there are in fact younger people that are enrolling more than before. In addition, before the act, only people who fell in the following four categories could afford healthcare: those who work for a company that provides it, those who can afford their own and have no pre-existing conditions, the very poor who have Medicaid, and those who are 65 and older who have Medicaid. If you didn't fall under one of these categories, you were forced to pay for your health care out of your own pocket. If you can afford it, either the hospital might pick up the cost or you have to declare bankruptcy. The U.S. system has been set up this way since the 1940s when the federal government gave tax breaks to companies who provided health insurance for their employees. This model of health insurance benefits those who only can afford the rising costs of health insurance, which is generally the middle and upper class. Obamacare offers a number of protections and benefits to all Americans. Beyond the 10 essential health benefits mandated by Obamacare, additional benefits range from chipping away at pre-existing conditions to expanding health services. Overall, the quality of healthcare is increased while the cost, in theory, will be reduced. Middle-income Americans and employees will be able to use tax credits and out-of-pocket subsidies on the exchanges to save up to 60% of the current cost of premiums, making insurance affordable for up to 23 million Americans. Patients may no longer be discriminated against or denied health insurance coverage due to pre-existing conditions such as having a disability, cancer, or having been pregnant or simply being a child. Many people over the years have been rejected health insurance if they have serious pre-existing conditions. The treatments for these conditions would be costly. This forces insurance companies to pay several thousands of dollars if they were to treat and insure a person with pre-existing conditions. This is the reason why many insurance companies reject the patients with these conditions. With Obamacare, however, these patients have to be insured. Companies cannot turn them away.